So another video. This one was a close one, man. The mono blue control or mono blue Tron is quite often pretty close. Yeah, I think it's a decent hand because at worst I'm gonna draw into lands and/or bridges or whatever because I have 3 shredders here. If I'm playing against combo, I got the needle to shut off whatever, like a Deceiver Exarch or whatever Tron piece or whatever. And I got natural lock, and I'm going to dig to bridge at some point and or land. I'll play a lantern first, of course, because I'm afraid that my opponent's going to thought seize it, or if I'm playing against John, get it out of my hand, and I don't want that. There's a chalice on top. That scared me. So I'll play out my mill rocks. I don't want my opponent to be able to draw into stuff and or counter. And I figure if I can surgical my opponent's towers, I'll be good to go. Yeah, opponent had 2 treasure mages, trinket mage, condescend, 2 islands. So I did that while that talisman was still on the stack so that he couldn't counter it. Yeah, there's engineered explosives, but opponent does not know I have needle in hand, and he does not have the mana to counter, so I'm good to go. Yeah, I go ahead and I Ghost Quarter myself to go get my swamp, and Inquisition to get that last counter out. And now, really, I've got the lock. The opponent doesn't have a fast enough clock before I land bridge. What am I want to get? Oh yeah, Mindslaver. So yeah, that was unfortunate. Opponent does have Mindslaver, and I dug so deep. So that's 4 cards plus another 5, so that's 9 cards deep to get another needle. And I did not see one, so that was a sad day. So opponent uses Mindslaver. Now, my opponent had a good play here. He could have used Shredder to mill my deck into an Abrupt Decay and decay my own bridge. But my opponent did not do that. He sacked my lantern and tried to set up his draws. But, so that didn't do it for him. I mean, there was a good chance he wasn't going to hit decay because I only have 2, but, whatever. So now I've got the lock with bridge. My opponent's not going to be able to do a whole lot here. I mean, he can get rid of my my ruins there, but I have a pretty solid lock going on now. And a real fast clock. I'm milling, I'm doing 5 cards plus his draw, so that's 6 cards per turn. He doesn't have a whole lot of time going on. I am extremely careful actually about the way I mill. I only mill like 1 or 2 cards at a time, because I'm afraid that he did draw a blind cantrip at some point. And I don't want to allow my opponent to cantrip into an answer. So, you notice there, I'm not using all of my mill rocks. I don't have to. I just gotta use just enough to make sure my opponent doesn't, if my opponent has some way to draw at instant speed, then he's not going to get the opportunity to draw what he wants. And it does turn out my opponent did not have any cantrips, but better safe than sorry. So, that's it. I go ahead and kill off my opponent's Platinum Angel. Now you notice I'm not doing so hot on time here. I had to stop at some point because my wife and we ordered pizza and I had to get the pizza in. So, I'm not doing great on time. I do need to hurry it up. So, Of course, I side in my Ancient Grudge and my Seal of Primordium, but so I like it because Inquisition should be able to let me snag whatever card or let me know what to watch out for coming up. I have the Ghost Quarter to set to disrupt Tron and Stirrings to dig for Needle if I need to, or a combo piece. Now I saw in the gate a Squelch and a Thirst there, and I took the Thirst. It might have been correct to Stirrings there. I don't know. I didn't want a Stirrings for something if I wanted to see if I can get more information. My opponent did go search for a Chalice with that Trinket Mage, and I was not happy about that. So that's when I pulled the trigger on Stirrings and just go ahead and name explosives. So if I can just play out these lands, and I do pass turn with stuff in hand, it might have been correct to not to, you know. And at this point I just start playing stuff into the Chalice just to get it out of my hand for bridge. I wanted to keep that Inquisition in hand. Yeah, my opponent thirsts and discards 2 islands, and that lets me know that my opponent probably drew something he really likes. Yeah, Squelch shuts down my Ghost Quarter. And here comes a Mindslaver lock. Now you notice again, I'm kind of short on time, so what I do here is I just basically click through and let my opponent kill me with the Mindslaver. But because the kill takes so long, it helps even up the time a little bit. I mean, it might be kind of a dick move, but so really this is my opponent playing himself. Yeah, now my opponent starts using Ether Grid against me. And that's game. So yeah, that Chalice, man, that hurt, and I didn't draw the Grudge fast enough. I drew it on the turn that I died that he was controlling, so. Okay, so, hey, look at that. Grudge, Needle, Inquisition opening hand. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. And, yeah, I go ahead and name and journey explosives now because I need to make my land drops. I should have used, oh, yeah, I'd take the Rift there. Man, I wish it would show me the cards in hand, but whatever, I guess. Yeah, I have to take the Rift. I'm not too worried about my opponent countering stuff, because that forces my opponent to have to pick one or the other. Is he going to counter stuff? You can leave mana out to counter stuff, or try to progress his board state. That spell guy would have shut off my Ether Grid, but fortunately I did have Abrupt Decay. I'm still not doing a whole lot. It's funny, opponent counters my Mox Opal here. We're getting really close on time. Yeah, Ancient Grudge is the thing there, so that I don't have to worry about that. Alright, I tried to. Opponent, it might have been correct for my opponent to Ancient Grudge my own Needle on explosives, but that way I didn't have access to Ancient Grudge, and he would have had access to engineered explosives again. Yeah, I really need to draw that third land real quick. Either Ether Grid or Bridge would be great here. So, but now my opponent's taken so long that now my opponent is down on time. So I'm doing okay. I grab the Ghost Quarter so I can get that third land. Yeah, and opponent loses on time. So it still was pretty close. I think I would have played the Ether Grid and then the Bridge just to draw out the counter. But either way, I went on time.